So you're in the world of creating content that you're going to be putting out, say for social media. That could include YouTube, podcasting, blogs, and articles, stuff like that. Just content marketing in general. You're going to be putting stuff out there. But you don't really want to be the one that sits there, downloads the video, saves the image, or creates the podcast and then actually goes to publish it, schedule it out, stuff like that. What do? Well, guys, there's this thing called delegation. This is something I've talked about in several other videos, but distribution manager is definitely somebody that you want to look into hiring. Now, in the whole grand scheme of things, when it comes to putting together a content marketing team, first of all, I've done a video on this, so make sure you do go check that out. And I have done videos on how to hire a video editor / videographer and a graphic designer and a QC person, or writing person. So make sure you go check all those out so that you can tie everything in together and create your content marketing team. So today we're going to be talking about specifically a social media distribution manager. Typically, this is somebody that is going to be taking your content, getting it posted and scheduled out, whether that's scheduling the content out or actually manually posting, depending on the platform. That's what you're going to be using this person for. Now, in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to this entire team that you're going to create for a content marketing team, the distribution manager is the one that really needs the least amount of skill in the media marketing world, because all they're really doing is taking that content, making sure that it's relevant and contextual to the platform, and then getting it scheduled out and posted. Whereas with video editing, you have to learn all the skills with Premiere, After Effects, and Photoshop for a graphic designer, Illustrator for a graphic designer, all this kind of thing, and then also keep up with the platforms as they're changing formats and stuff like that. Same thing for writing. There's a lot of skill. I think writing is definitely the #1 skill when it comes to being a marketing person, but that takes a lot of time and effort to be able to create something like that. Whereas a social media manager, really they just need to understand the platform, have a really good understanding of what works, what doesn't, and then be able to schedule things out and move those along. And so typically what you're going to be looking at is hiring one person to do this, especially if it's just for your team. Now, if you're an agency, you might need a team of people. I actually have 3 distribution managers on my team, 3 distribution team members, and then 1 manager. So 1 manager that actually schedules about 40 hours a week worth of content, and then she's got 2 people, one that does TikTok and Reels posting, and the other one does manual posting on, say, LinkedIn or personal Facebook pages. And then we also are starting to get somebody to actually do a podcast and YouTube scheduling. That's something that is kind of depends on the content that we're receiving as well for those platforms. But anyway, that still works very methodically for those 2 platforms. So where do you find this person? The #1 place, if you've watched any of my videos, you probably know exactly what I'm going to say. Upwork. Upwork is a great place to find somebody to actually schedule your content out. Now, I happen to get lucky, and if you know my team at all, my wife is actually our distribution manager. And so she's really good with social media. She's been crushing it at that position for over a year and a half now, and she's really taken that by the wheel and just taking that to a whole nother level, put the team together. She manages these 2 other team members. But if I was going to be hiring somebody else, the first place I would be looking is Upwork. And in fact, one of our distribution team members is from Upwork. And so that's the best place to look, because you're gonna be finding somebody that knows this marketing world very well, but also knows these platforms very well, and you can get them at a reasonable dollar amount. Now, I'm not ever going to tell you go cheap, because that's something you don't want to do. If you go cheap, you really get what you pay for. So for instance, I have worked with VAs that are $3 an hour, and man, was it a nightmare managing these people. So be willing to spend at least $8 to $9 an hour on this person, and keep in mind, especially if it's just for you, they're only going to be working maybe 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week tops. So you're not really going to be spending all that much money. Maybe $50 to $100 a week is what you'll be spending on a distribution manager, and that will bring brain damage away from you, and it will bring away stress of trying to remember to post and schedule out your content. That's something that you don't want to have to do, because it doesn't require you to do that, right? It's a far least amount of skill that you have. You have an insane amount of talent and skill. You don't want to waste that on posting social media stuff. Now, that being said, there are times where I will actually post my own social media content. Take for instance, if I'm taking a picture with my wife and I want to say, you know, happy Valentine's Day or happy birthday or something like that, I'm obviously going to post that stuff with a well thought out copy. But then on the business side of things, I just literally try to pull myself away as much as possible with scheduling posts out, right? Pretty much all of our clients that we have, we actually do schedule the posts out. So hundreds, if not thousands of posts a week go out from our team for our clients, and having a good social media manager is definitely something that you have to take in priority, because this is gonna be a person that has to be punctual, has to take responsibility, and understand the platforms. So when you're hiring this person, take for instance, you take a posting, you put it on Upwork for a social media manager, and you've got that job posting out there, you get applicants. One of the first things that I would do is ask these applicants what their understanding of each platform is. Literally give them a breakdown, say, here's Facebook, here's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, podcast, LinkedIn. Tell me about these platforms and how you would post on them. And if they give you answers that are kind of like, you know, I'm going to use Hootsuite and Buffer to post these, or I'm going to, you know, make sure that we're posting X, Y, and Z. Like, you want to be looking for things, and I'm not even saying that there are specific things negatively that you want to look for, but you want to understand how they work and what platforms they use. Because we brought a person on the team and they wanted to use a platform that made absolutely no sense to schedule stuff out. So I've done another video on scheduling content out, and typically what we use is all Creator Studio for Facebook and Instagram. For TikTok, it's going to be, you can do it inside that app, but then LinkedIn is going to be manual posting. And so there might be challenges if you do hire somebody overseas. Take for instance, one of our distribution people, she lives in India, and they don't have Reels, Instagram Reels in India yet. So I have to have my person in States to actually post Reels for my clients now. And so she has TikTok, but she manages all the TikTok accounts and that kind of thing. But making sure that they're very understanding of the platform, but you also have those kind of variables that you wanna know about as well. And the number one thing that you wanna look for in a social media distribution manager is punctuality. Are they punctual? What I would do on your interview, if you literally have all these people and you say, hey, I'm gonna set up some interviews, what I would do is give them an odd time and say, hey, my interview is gonna be on Wednesday afternoon at 1:52 p.m. And if they show up on time, then you know you have somebody that's punctual. If they show up at 1:55 or yet worse at 2 o'clock, then that's somebody you absolutely should not hire, because they're not gonna be punctual. And when it comes to social media posting, punctuality, they have to literally post those things on a consistent basis and schedule them out, or do even manual posting. And if they're not punctual about it, then you're gonna end up having to do it yourself again. So just make sure that you focus on that. That's the number one thing I would say that you wanna take away when hiring somebody. So again, in this position, it's not the most complicated position that's going to be in your social media distribution plan and everything that you put out content marketing wise, but it is something that you absolutely need to prioritize. It's going to be the end of the line for the content that goes out on your social posts, is that distribution manager. So get somebody that's good in place there, somebody that's punctual, somebody that's willing to take and learn these platforms very well, and go back to the video editor and say, hey, this video wasn't formatted right for Reels. Can you make sure that it's 9:16 and it fits in this frame and that kind of thing? You wanna make sure you have somebody that is able to communicate that back to somebody, as opposed to somebody that just takes a video and posts it and then it looks all stupid on Instagram and then it comes back to you and you look dumb, right? So you gotta make sure that they have that understanding. So that's what I got for you guys today. Hopefully that helped and brought you a little bit of value. If you have any questions about this or anything about building a content marketing team or a social media team, check out all the links down in the description below to connect with me. There is a 1-hour consultation that you can book with me as well. That's the first link down there in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later.